Good and good in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got with me. Well, first of all, let's talk about Arsenal versus Leicester City. The draw 1-1. Well, it was not that good of a performance I feel unlucky throughout the whole game, but I think just when the second half started, I think we were so unlucky. I think everyone will talk about Wari should have been given a red card or the boot on the face of Shkodran Mustafi, but the talking point was Eddie Nketiah's red card. To me, it was a very loose challenge. I don't think so it was unfair. It was fair enough in terms of the rule book was concerned, but I know that there was no malice involved. I know Eddie Nketiah is not that kind of a guy to actually go and play that much kind of an aggressive footballer. He's not an aggressive footballer, so he won't play that kind of aggressive football. So I know that Eddie Nketiah did not have any intentions of doing it, but it was a poor challenge. The problem was that he caught the player, and it was a really, really bad tackle. So we got to get with it. I think we were unlucky that we could not get a win. We were unlucky that we did not take our chances. We had 2 or 3 or probably 4 chances to put the ball back into the net, but probably it was the goalkeeper. Schmeichel was really great. So I think they deserved that. I mean, it was a battle of the wits. Brendan Rodgers somehow scraped 1 point. That I would say this way, but I think at the end of the day, with one man down, I think we showed a decent amount of composure. I think everyone had a decent game. But let's move on with the first news. Arsenal would like to explore the possibility of getting James Rodriguez on loan from Madrid if they make it to Europe. Well, not only this, Arsenal source actually there's a source that said to Jim White that last night that the door is always open for Guendouzi. Now the door is probably coming back to the team's plans, and also it could also mean that the door towards the outside. Well, talking about it, well, Shkodran Mustafi has liked a tweet of a fan who actually tweeted out, "Just want to let you know that you have been playing really good. You're facing tough criticism before, and it's amazing how you have overcome that to be a good player for Arsenal lately. Have enjoyed watching you play the last few matches. Keep it up. #Arsenal." And Shkodran Mustafi has liked the tweet. Obviously, this man deserves the love that he's shown. Yesterday, he kept Wadi quiet for a very long time. I think Shkodran Mustafi had a very, very positive game. He gave his everything in that game. Now, talking about Lukita Torreira, Arteta says, "I knew against Wolves I can throw him in for 10, 15, 20 minutes. He's going to give you absolutely everything. For a player who has been out for such a long time to make the impact that he made, that's a credit to him." Guillaume Bayag has opened up about the whole Barcelona, Lautaro Martinez and Aubameyang situation. Says Barcelona are convinced Lautaro will happen, and so Aubameyang has opened talks again with Arsenal, and looks like he could stay with Arsenal. That's a better news, isn't it?
Well, Arsenal should they keep, like I said, Aubameyang, who are some alternative targets. Well, I want to talk about Aubameyang quickly because Barcelona considered him in January with Timo Werner as well and Rodrigo. Eventually they went with Braithwaite as the clubs didn't want to negotiate with them. But of course now the situation of Aubameyang means that they could also be interested if Lautaro Martinez doesn't get to Barcelona. But because they are so convinced that Lautaro will come to Barcelona, hence Aubameyang opening negotiations again with Arsenal. So it looks like he could stay, but again, we have to keep an eye on that.
But talking about it, Victor Osimhen has rejected Napoli's offer because he expects an offer from the Premier League, more precisely that Arsenal does, with Alexandre Lacazette. So it's pretty much clear that Victor Osimhen has set his sights at the Premier League. Well, not only this, Matteo Guendouzi has no intention of leaving Arsenal for the sake of it. Only if a project presents itself that will allow him to continue to progress enough to give him a chance of making it to the Euros next summer. This guy wants game time. This guy wants to play in and out every week, but he has got to work hard for it. If he wants it on a plate, I don't think so. Anybody's going to serve him without him showing the efforts. Well, talking about more things, Nicola Pepe was actually returned to the matchday squad, starting from the bench, following the birth of his child. I would say welcome back, Nicholas. I hope you're fine, and I hope your wife and the kid are fine too as well. Well, not only this, Arsenal are still interested in signing Moussa Dembele. Well, they will try to sign the striker if one of Aubameyang or Alexander Lacazette departs, well, that is unbelievable, isn't it? But Moussa Dembele is he's a poacher, and I believe that if Arsenal are going to get a striker, I think Moussa Dembele is a very good option. Arsenal on a couple of occasions and Chelsea too have shown interest in signing Thiago Alcantara. It hasn't been possible. It quite likely won't be possible this summer, according to David Ornstein. Well, Alex Lacazette shared an image with Matt Smith. Well, he says, "I'm sorry, Blondie." It's really great, isn't it? But Alex Lacazette yesterday missed a lot of chances, not good in the air, so those headers, but did not find a way through Kasper Schmeichel. But nonetheless, he tried his best. But let's see. Well, moving on. Mikel Arteta is actually speaking Spanish to the players on the touchline, and about it, Arteta says, some of them, yes, if it's their language, sometimes French too, for better communication, or to stop opponents' understanding, he says a little bit of both. Great, isn't it? Well, let me talk and walk you through the most assists in all competitions. Premier League players this season: Kevin De Bruyne has 19 assists, Trent Alexander-Arnold has 14 assists, Bukayo Saka has 12. So the youngster is among the elite already. We're talking about it. Dani Ceballos' first half versus Leicester City, 100% take-ons completed, 2 out of 2, 41 touches, 8 recoveries, 8 passes into the final third, 5 passes into the box, 5 crosses. Dani Ceballos had a crazy impactful game yesterday against Leicester City for Arsenal. Well, talking about it, for me it was a clear red, talking about the whole Eddie Nketiah kind of a situation. But Leicester had 53% possession in the first half, 72% in the second, and 62% overall. Arsenal still struggled to control the ball, which is always going to invite pressure from the opposition. Well, Cesc Fabregas tweeted out, "It's a bad tackle, but he doesn't mean it at all. So unlucky if he gets the red. I don't like VAR in situations like that. He's trying to win the ball nicely, but catches the opponent's knee by mistake." Arsenal have drawn more league games this season. That is 14 games drawn than they have ever managed in a single 38 game top flight campaign. Not a good record to hold to if you're an Arsenal fan. Folarin Balogun, well, let's see if he's going to, because Eddie Nketiah is out for a lot of games now. So let's see. Well, talking about it, the cuts on Scotland Mustafi's face after a collision with Jamie Vardy's boot during the first half look really, really nasty. But this guy got up and fought again. Well, talking about the red card, Kieran Tierney said, "I had a view to me. It looked totally accidental. Eddie is not the kind of player who would do anything like that." Well, Kieran Tierney also said, "I thought we done well. We dug in deep. Obviously, we conceded a goal, unfortunate, but I thought we showed good fight as well." Well, not only this, let's talk about more things. Miguel Aziz opens up. He says, "Mertesacker asked me to learn the deeper six position. Says he's seen a specific trait that I have, which is that I have a good range of passing. I can run a lot. So he said that there could be an opportunity for you in the first team in that position. I am a midfielder. I can play in attacking midfield, holding midfield, or central. At the moment, I'm mainly playing as a central defensive midfielder, a 6 or an 8. Obviously, I love scoring goals as well. So I will naturally get forward even if I'm playing as a 6, which is sometimes not good. Obviously, when you're young, you trial at a lot of clubs, Chelsea, West Ham, and other clubs, but I've always loved Arsenal. Arsenal is the club that I support, so it was a no-brainer. It was an easy decision for me when they wanted me to join them. I've been at the club since age 5. Well, Emiliano Martinez tweeted out, "We will keep fighting." Well, yes, he fought very well, didn't he? Well, Premier League clubs are asking the transfer window to open immediately at the end of the season, that is 27th of July, but there are concerns players could be unsettled. Chris Sutton actually tweeted out, "That's a joke. Genuine intent to win the ball. It was an accident," to which Lee Dixon replied, "Chris, intent is not in the laws of the game." That's really great, isn't it? Good banter, good level banter. Robert Van Persie tweeted out in praise of Bukayo Saka. He says, "Absolute brilliant run and assist from Saka. Hashtag pace, hashtag technique, hashtag vision, and hashtag player." Arsenal are damn interested in loaning out Felipe Coutinho from Barcelona, but any loan deal, or probably there won't be any buyout straight away from Arsenal's end, but any loan deal would want Barcelona to pay some amount of wages of Felipe Coutinho. Let's see. Moving on, Arteta has already spoken about the performance of Arsenal yesterday. He says, I'm extremely proud of our team, the way we played against this type of opposition and how dominant we were in the first half. We clearly should have gone 3 or 4 nil up and kill the game. This is what you have to do against this type of opposition. The fixtures we have for recovery are really difficult, but you can see the intensity and quality the players are putting in. I'm extremely proud of our players, but we have to learn as well. When you have them where you want them, you have to kill them off. And talking about the red card situation, he says with the red card decision, he doesn't see the player. You have to know that it is a young kid. It can be a red card, but then Leicester has to play with 10 men after 42 minutes. For one challenge, that is between 45 and 40 and 45 minutes. That has to be a red card as well. He's talking about the whole Jamie Vardy stomping on Squadron Mustafi's face. Well, also talking about Aubameyang, he says we will look at the options to play Aubameyang as a striker. He says, and so let's see how we can be diverse. We will see how long Eddie is suspended and see. We need as much firepower as possible. We know he can play as a number 9. You can ask him to play anywhere and he'd take it. And talking about Dani Ceballos, Arteta says he was superb again. Him and Granit are creating a really good understanding. They are evolving a lot together. Defensively, Dani has made a big step forward with the amount of tackles and interceptions he is making. Well, these were the news of the day. I hope you enjoyed whatever came your way. All the views and news and everything about Arsenal comes platform every single day, twice. Sit back, relax, and enjoy all the news that comes on this platform. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers, and don't forget to subscribe.